everyone, and welcome to the ASMR review show. The night is upon us. The night reigns. Indeed, it rains down in Elden Ring Nightreign, or as I jokingly called it, Elden Ring Fortnite Edition. It is finally here, and it's actually pretty good, which is nice. Not gonna lie, was a little worried when this game was first announced, because I didn't know if it was going to be my style, a 3-player co-op game, very, battle royale, Fortnite style, PUBG, shrinking circle, dropped from the air into an island kind of thing. So I didn't know what to expect exactly. And I gotta admit, the first couple of days I played the game, I wasn't really digging it. I didn't really know what to think. But I kept on pushing through and ended up really loving the game a lot. So this is very fun, and the journey is far from over because the game is getting constantly updated and new bosses are being released here or there. So this is an all quote-unquote base game bosses video. So there are no Everdark bosses in this video. Oh, we're gonna save those for later. Also gotta say shout out to the very clean transition from gameplay or cutscene to gameplay. They do that a couple times in the game. Never really did anything like that before, but that was clean indeed, man. Clean. Yeah, so no Everdark bosses in this video. They haven't all been released at the time of recording. It's gonna be all the base game bosses and the nostalgia bosses, as I call them, from the previous Dark Souls games. So, of course, though, we have the tutorial boss. This is the Fell Omen, not Morgott or Margit, just Fell Omen. Okay, sure. So, the tutorial fight is kind of fun because you actually can replay it anytime you want by using the whole visual codex thing. And Margit, of course, has the great habit of knowing exactly when I'm going to use my Wilder ultimate. It's like is he input reading? Is it new input reading, not dodging the spells, but dodging the blasts from your ultimate? I don't know, but oh well. Yeah, if you're struggling to do the tutorial fight because you gotta be Wilder and you don't have much, I found using the fist weapons was good because you can do frost and bleed, and then you have the sword you can put on your back to give yourself the periodic glint blades. Always satisfying when you get to use an ultimate to stun a boss and get a revive. Indeed, alright, yeah. So that was the trick I used, I found. Frost Bleed OP. And I will be honest, I don't know too much of the story yet of this game. We're kind of in its infancy. I'm waiting for other people on YouTube who are much more enlightened than me to piece it all together and tell me what it was all about, Still waiting on that. But it is what it is, Come on, Duchess, me and you, we almost got this. We can do this. Oh, okay, you can get me back up, right? Oh, well, rip. We had a good run, alright. We had a good run. So yeah, there's some talk about how this game is non-canon, like it doesn't count. But it seems like it's setting itself up as a prequel for regular Elden Ring. Like we helped fend off the night and kept the lands between safe and we awoke Mata Nui from his slumber, I guess. I don't know. So this is the trick. Don't forget, run back and give yourself that extra level up at the Grace. You know, cheese tactics indeed. Ah, yes, that's the trick. This was obviously not my first attempt at the tutorial. No, I got my ass beat in about 20 seconds, if that. Alright, rematch time. Here we go. Round 2. I win. That's the trick to this game, guys. I can come back. Right? Elden Ring. Knight dies twice. But yeah, this leads us into the Round Table Hold, our fun collection of colorful characters we will be going on many an expedition with. Indeed. Yeah, so maybe if I watch the intro again, I can piece it together. I'm not sure I understand. There's the night seeking to encompass all, and the night corrupts, and we have to defeat the darkness. It's just a classic battle of light versus dark with characters. Let's see if I can figure it out. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a great war in the lands between, but this is not the Shattering, it's something different, I believe. Or no, it is the Shattering. Destroyed order itself. Okay, so yeah, this is like an alt-reality, alternate timeline version of it, I guess. An abomination. The Night Lord, that's the big eye we see during all of the boss battles, right? Like the eye is watching us. The Night, and there's the Night Lords, but then there is the Night Lord, Heolstor, who has a not Moonlight Greatsword. Heavy rain that destroys and decays everything, so it's like we gotta let the night move in. And there's Limveld, which is different from Limgrave, right? And he's nocturnal, so he doesn't rest. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know exactly. Is it like, this was like the war that went on that we never knew about? I don't know. Oh yeah, my boy Iron Eye, Edgelord, and the Recluse, or Recluse, depending on your regional accent, I guess. Duchess Wilder, who we're not getting a Siren skin for Duchess because that would be weird. If you know, you know. And, my tank boy, Raider. Oh, I'm sorry I ever misjudged you. And Guardian, my bird boy, yeah. And of course we can't forget, Executor. I thought it was Executor. Like, you know, one who executes, but I guess that's also Executor. Executor. Just so you know, I might use both, like, kind of interchangeably without thinking about it, much like Nier Automata or Nier Automata, right? So, you know, be warned, or much like how I like to say respite or respite. Recluse, recluse. Yeah, just brace yourself for that, okay? Yeah. So, it actually works out perfectly because there's 8 main bosses, and I had a win with each character against each boss. This was the tough part when I was putting together the video. I thought, do I show the boss fight multiple times so we can show multiple runs? Because not every run is my optimal one, you know? But ultimately I decided, okay, 1 run per boss, only main Night Lords and nostalgia bosses, as I call them from the previous Dark Souls games. No need to show me fighting the Banished Knights or the Beastly Brigade. You know, these are all enemies from base Elden Ring. If you want to see me talk about those, I got like 4 other Elden Ring videos, I think. I've got all bosses, a DLC, bosses and DLC, and the areas of the base game. I never did areas of the DLC. Maybe I should get around to that someday. And here we have it, another real fun cutscene to gameplay transition. These are really cool. was also funny as well. Before I knew that Priestess was Duchess, I was trying to look up who's the voice actor for Priestess, and I kept finding stuff of Duchess. I'm like, no, I want to talk about Priestess, not Duchess. Oh, of course, my bad. Yeah. So yeah, we've got our little hub area we hang out in before we go on our adventures. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I originally didn't really dig the game. It was like I was running around not knowing what to do. Just things were going wrong. Just it wasn't it, this was not the zone. So it was nice to finally sort of have it click. And I know they balanced solo a little bit more. Definitely liked that solo balancing, So yeah, let's go out on the hunt now. Here we have Duchess gameplay, and I believe it's Gaping Dragon we'll be fighting first. Obviously this is not necessarily all in order, but yeah, the idea was we got a Dark Souls 1 boss here, right? Gaping Dragon. It's funny how we had Gaping Dragon in this game, and now I've also got the Gaping Jaw, right? Something about these dragons, man, they're always hungry, I can relate, And here we go, good old Gaping Dragon. Oh, how I've missed you. Yeah, this was the big thing, like, why are all these bosses here? Because they wanted to reuse the assets, And fair enough, I guess. And of course, you're a true Dark Souls 1 player. If you remember, you gotta cut off the tail, right? That's the trick. It was kind of funny how they had that gimmick in Dark Souls 1, like, oh yeah, you cut off the tail of the boss, and then you get a weapon, right? They never really brought that back from later. Now, other thing to keep in mind is some characters I found I play better as than other characters. Duchess being one that I still don't know if I fully, quote-unquote, got her yet. I know you definitely can't really use her as a hardcore melee build. As she says herself, technical weapons are not my forte. I'm better with technical weaponry. So you definitely want to be using lots more spells. And as the internet was kind enough to point out to me, there we go, good old tail cut. That certain characters like Duchess and Executor, they actually do more damage, more DPS and status buildup if you one-hand their weapons, which you think would kind of be counterintuitive. But I've been testing that on some runs lately, and it seems to be true. I've definitely noticed that, so, again, if this gameplay you see throughout the video is quote-unquote suboptimal, just keep in mind that most of these, it's my first victory over the boss, okay? It's not about showing you a perfect strategy or even a perfect round. I think I get carried hard in some of these clips too by my teammates. It's not about beating the bosses solo, it's about winning. It's not about having fun, it's about winning. Like, I remember my first playthrough as Recluse, I didn't know how her whole, collect FP affinity thing worked. I just thought once you ran out of FP, you were screwed. I didn't know. So, we didn't put that fight in this video, for example. That would have been very embarrassing indeed, But there we go, and of course, the classic victory achieved. Though those always get me in the good old nostalgia, or you defeated. Good old stuffs like that. So, now we have made it to the door. The door. The door. The door can see through everything. The door can see into your mind. The door can see through time itself. Oh wow, can the door actually do any of those things? No. There you go. Bet you weren't expecting a Charlie the Unicorn reference on an Elden Ring Nightreign video, but, you know, I am a 90s kid, so it's my humor. You should be used to this feat. Yeah. So we are as the Executor, the executive director of executionering, and we are going up against the first Night Lord boss, Tricephalos, the Gladius, beast of the night. It's kind of funny how they all have their own names and nicknames, and I don't always remember which one is which. This was actually my first win against any of the Night Lords. So, again, I am dual-wielding katanas like the weeaboo that I am. Then I guess in hindsight I should have been just simply using my holy katana and one-handing it, right? But, you know, that's a thing for another time, right? Yeah, so definitely was still getting the hang of it. I've had a couple more runs against him, and I definitely feel like I've got it down a bit more, right? Or I've also got down the strategy for getting to high level, right? You know, when you first play the game, you don't really know what anything is or how it's done. You're just kind of giving her, right? So, yeah, he's got the big attack where he splits into the 3 dogs, which is kind of fun, but also a little annoying in that they all seem to aggro for one player, right? You know, you just panic roll. And the whole when you're downed mechanic is kind of interesting. You don't like go over and hold revive. You gotta do damage to them. And the more they die, the harder it can be to revive them. So that's interesting. Also, I do like Executor as a character, but I actually don't really use his abilities that much. This here was the moment where it clicked in my brain. Oh, when they say the boss is weak to holy, they like really mean it. Like it does little explosions and it debuffs him. Oh, that was the moment where it clicked in my mind, you know, because I don't think I'd been specifically going for holy weapons before. That's like the one main attack you gotta watch out for is his like fire AoE attack. I remember one time I got triple killed by it. Literally everybody on the team got one shot by that attack. It was really went from 0 to 100 real quick. Not good. But yeah, so I wasn't really digging the game at first because like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I'd probably get to the boss at like level 9, and then you know I would barely scratch the surface of him. Like I think one time my team we got killed with like barely doing 1/10% of his health bar. So it was actually very satisfying though to finally have it click. I also have been playing the game on PC, but with the seamless co-op mod, so my friend and I could 2-player it. And again, I was worried about that too, because we kicked Gladius's ass after like the 3rd try, and then we got absolutely stuck on Sentient Pest. And then we beat Sentient Pest finally after like 10 attempts. And then we proceeded to first try almost every boss, except for Heolstor. We're stuck on him right now. So yeah, Executor, he's a really cool character. I like his style. I just don't use his abilities too much. His parry move, where you basically get Sekiro deflects. I save that for only specific moments. And his beast form, well, sometimes it's fun to throw it at the end, but I rarely use it. It seems very situational. I don't know. I feel like his beast form needs to be a little more tanky, because sometimes you go beast mode and you get got in like 2 hits, and I don't know, of squishy, situational, shall we say. But yeah, that's the first Night Lord. Gladius down. Great fight. Shout out to my teammates. I was playing on PS5, so if you saw a TARS, that was me. So I think that'd be really cool if somebody's watching this video and you recognized yourself. That would be fun indeed, but we'll see. I don't know what the odds of that are. I don't have many viewers or subscribers. The chance that they're also somebody that I played with online, I don't know. But it could be cool. And so yeah, we defeated a Night Lord, but there is another, apparently. Again, I'm not sure exactly how it works. I thought about, should I wait to do this video when I know a little more, or should I just give her? But I've been playing the game a lot, and I thought, you know what, let's get the base game video out now. Let's just give her, right? Because there's additional DLC coming, potentially more characters. There's all the Everdark bosses. Yeah. So, we'll see how that goes. That'll be for a part 2 video for now. Just base game and, of course, the whole shifting earth, which, of course, I hated at first, and again, then I realized how good it is. Shifting earth is just very tricky, because you don't got a lot of time, so you really want to save your shifting earth for your night 2, and then just go full ham on it. And now that we've beaten the first boss, we can recruit a new character, Revenant, who is way, way, way too OP here. You can fight her as any character in this fight. I just happen to have Duchess as my character equipped. Yeah, I'm trying to think who I did it the second time when I did it on PC was. I think it might have been Iron Eye, perhaps. I mean, he's pretty good for that because he's got his mark, critical hit mark. I just found the trick was to try to stay as far away as possible so that you can get the first 2 summons down before Revenant gets close. And then, of course, you just gotta watch out for the laser beam and the roar from good old, what is it? There's Frederick. Sebastian, right? Helen, Frederick, and Sebastian. Yeah, the Destructo discs, alright. Alright, it's just you and me, Revenant. But where am I? Here. I have a nice blade that is very effective when applied to the jugular. And I realized, oh right, I'm still invisible. Nice. It doesn't make you visible again, that's cool. Yeah, it is kind of funny how much Revenant kicks ass in these fights. She goes for the claws, and it's just too good. But Revenant's another pretty cool character, but we'll talk more about her when we get to the fight, This one's also just tricky because you only have the one attempt. So you gotta play it safe and cautious. You only got 3 flasks. You don't got much. I'm trying to think, this probably was my 3rd attempt. I don't know. There's a couple of boss fights I put in here for the lore-related purposes, or some of the remembrances. I did complete everybody's remembrance, and some of them involve very specific boss fights. And I like to call this the Omayo Shinderu move, where you hit her and then you use the rewind time ability to get that last hitbox. Yeah. Okay, and now once again, we are Duchess. The video is very Duchess front-loaded. And don't mind me just aura farming a little. There'll be plenty of that in the video. Okay, this guy's tired with aura farming. Who do we have? Good old Adel, Baron of the Night. Yeah, so he's a dragon who is weak to poison. Like that. It is interesting, I find, how some of the bosses, they have like weaknesses that are really useful to use, and some where it kind of doesn't really matter. Like, I feel Sentient Pest, you don't really need fire, it doesn't seem to stun him that much. Whereas poison is quite useful for Adel, but really only in his first phase. Once he goes second phase, he's like, nah, you know what, I'm good. I gotta remember to use the rewind time. I always forget to do it, you know. That might have been a bad time for that, but we're fine. We're cool guys, right? This was definitely one of my better Duchess runs, I think, as I'm getting my ass beat. But I think that was because I kind of figured, like, okay, well, we've got a good weapon with a good art on it, and we've got a good style. And getting grabbed isn't actually the worst thing, because while you do take a lot of damage, it's a good chance for your teammate to get damage into him, right? And here we go, good old phase 2. Yeah. It's funny watching the footage of original Adel when I'm so used to Everdark version after the last couple weeks, right? I used to absolutely hate this guy. I don't hate him anymore, he's good. But I just found it seemed like my luck was that he would always go into the grab move, like whenever I was stuck in an animation. And so you're out of FP more on use your starlight shards. So I just always got by it, and at a low level it's basically a one-hit kill. So I found that very aggravating. But that's okay, because we got a good team that knows what they're doing. And I've got Stars of Ruin, which is basically a free revive. So that's good. And my Wilder knows what to do. I do find that, like, there's, I have soloed some bosses before. I soloed Gladius with Revenant. I soloed Adel with, Raider, I think. But I don't think I've actually managed to solo anybody with Duchess. You know, that's probably not gonna reach, you fool. Or did it? I don't know. And as some people have pointed out, jumping over the AoEs actually helps out. One of my favorite things that they did change, though, was the whole, that there's the audio cue when the enemy's going to do a grab. I like that a lot. Here's your restage. Come on, we gotta save him. This is it. Let's go. Nice. Yeah, so I found Duchess is a character I'm not super familiar with yet, but I've had a couple of good runs with her. I just find it's hard to make her like just a solo character. I'm not quite there yet, but I do like her. And more Duchess footage, ironically. I think I tried to record all of my wins against the main Night Lords, but I only recorded like the first run when it came to the Dark Souls 1 bosses, so I think majority of these were actually in the same run, you know. That's probably what they're all from. But yeah, we got the creepy hands. Who could be the one that it's going to be? Well, it's going to be good old, nice dodge, fool. Didn't you learn to dodge into enemies from the entire 200,000 hours you put into Elden Ring base game? Yeah. Centipede Demon, that's who it is. It's going to be Centipede Demon, of course. he was actually the one that took the longest to show up for me in terms of finding the old bosses. I haven't yet looked into, no, that's the wrong one. I haven't yet looked into, like, what determines who you're gonna get. You know, like, I know there's, like, a certain pool of bosses the game can choose from. Good old Centipede Demon. Oh, how easy of a fight you are now that you don't have the blinding lava light and a tiny little island to fight on. It's amazing how that works. And once again, you can still cut off the tail, just like in the old days. Yeah, we love it. And the tail's got a mind of its own. I love it. Yeah, it's kind of funny how, like, when the Dark Souls 1 bosses show up, I'm, like, relieved because I'm, like, super crazy fast compared to them. I love it. Yeah, I wonder if they're planning on bringing back more bosses to redo. I'm not sure. I do think the ones they've chosen for Dark Souls 1 were kind of odd. You know, you got Gaping Dragon, who's, like, a pretty decently known fight, but, like, I don't think he's, like, the most well-known. And then you got the Centipede Demon, who's, like, kind of off to the side, and isn't he also technically optional if you go a certain way through to Lost Isolith, right? I think. How is some hair time, man? Just call him Jordan, right? Or I guess the new guy's SGA, right? Yeah, SGA, very nice. Okay, so maybe he knows a few tricks. This ain't my first rodeo. Alright then. Be that way. Yeah, so it's fun seeing Centipede Demon. And, oh yeah, we gotta finish him with a crit. Yeah, we do. That's always the best. So we'll see if they throw anyone more else in. Look at me, I already am ready to emote. Always gotta emote. I love doing the Oslo's Oath because it feels very, may thy knife chip and shatter. Victory achieved. Yeah, boy. So yeah, I'm sure that's the last bit of Dutch's footage for a while. Ah, yes, of course, because we have good old Raider. And who are we fighting with? Raider, we have Gnoster, Wisdom of the Night, also known as the Sentient Pest. And probably not the best choice of weapon for Raider with a curved sword. Morgoth's sword. But I thought, you know what? It's got fire, it's got bleed, and if it bleeds, we can kill it. Right? Also, this, I'm pretty sure, is definitely like my first win with Raider. So that doesn't mean it's going to be my best performance. You know, if you know what I'm saying, right? I definitely have a better understanding of how you're supposed to play Raider now than I did at the time. So I want that on record. You know, if you want to see some nicer Raider wins, just wait for the part 2 footage when I show me soloing Everdark Adel as Raider, okay? It's gonna be worth it, trust me. Yeah, when picking the characters wasn't really a matter of like who the best fight was. It was more like I wanted to give everybody equal screen time. So I wanted to have like one character per boss, right? And originally I had 2 per boss, but then I kind of I thought the video was too long. You know, we're at 2 hours. That's a good length. We don't need to go to 4 hours. Oh boy, he likes me. So here we go. I got my colossal weapon now. Are you happy? Oh, there we go. Boom. Nice. I think at the time I also didn't fully understand how you were supposed to use Raider's ability, right, or his skill, right, the retaliate. What you're supposed to do it is like face tank a blow and then say, no you, reverse Uno card. What you're not supposed to do is just use it randomly for no reason. And what you're not supposed to do is just tank a hit without using it. there's a way to it all, right? And no, you don't. I had one playthrough where I got grabbed like 4 times by this damn bug. But there we go. Swat that moth, get him out of there. And he's rotting, but does it actually rot do damage to him over time? I don't know. Okay, here we go. Phase 2. They joined forces to become Mechagodzilla Omnimon. Oh boy. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've never actually soloed this fight yet. I just don't want to attempt it because I'm not sure how annoying Phase 1 would be, but Phase 2 surprisingly seems like it would be more manageable because you don't have to look 2 different ways than one. I don't know. But in either case there, I'm using the big great axe. Though, I don't know, am I nerfing myself because he's immune to poison? I either look really dumb, or that means that I'm that good that I could do it without it. I think the one thing we can agree on is the soundtrack for all of these bosses is absolutely top. See there, I just kind of wasted my skill, right? Didn't really do much. Yeah, let's go. Get back up. Get him. There we go. Yeah, so I think this is definitely one of the tougher fights, especially illustrated by the fact that it took my friend and I like several different attempts, switching up our characters, switching up our playstyles, and then we managed to like first try every other boss, right? I don't know exactly how it works. This wasn't even the greatest run for me. As you can see, I'm level 9 and I didn't get any of my runes back. Though this may have been also before I figured out, like, oh, you can just, like, run into the rain afterwards. Oh, I'm down. Somebody call an ambulance. Oh, thankfully we got good old Iron Eye on the case. Or do we? You can do it, buddy. Thank you. Alright. I didn't hear no bell. I don't want to use my last heal. From like frostbite, right? Frost has got to be good. But yeah, I do like Raider a lot more now. At the time, I couldn't get with the whole like slow, clunky handling of like the big colossal weapons, and you know, like needing 3 to 5 business days to charge up an attack. But I get it now. I feel like Danny DeVito. Oh my god, I get it, right? Alright, let's rock. The Totem Stella, though, it's still not the greatest skill, you know. I know it does a little more damage when you're near it. Alright, Warming Stone time. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm still not super into it. It just seems like most of the time that, it just leads to me, like, making things confusing, you know, getting the boss, like, just, you know, stuck in your face. I don't know. That's it. We're giving her, guys. We're doing it. Let's rock now. Nope. Me bombo. There we go. If nobody got me, I know my team got me. So yeah, again, some of these fights may be a little awkward to watch, but know that I have a better understanding of how the characters play now, you know? Yeah, Raider's good. He's not my main, but I like him a lot. Next up, we got another classic Dark Souls boss. And we're moving on to the Dark Souls 2 bosses. We got the spiders from the Duke's Dear Freja. Is it Freya or Freja? I've always said Freya. Again, you know, it's weird names, right? This is a girls' night out playthrough, you know. We got a Duchess, we got a Revenant, we got a Recluse. Yeah. the squishier characters, if you do know how to use them properly, it can be very powerful indeed. And funny enough, this I think was actually like my first, like, quote-unquote serious run as Recluse. And I say that because I did a solo run with her. And, you know, I didn't even know how to get your FP back with the collecting residue. I didn't know how the whole magic cocktail worked. And so then this is the one where I was like, okay, I understand the way you're supposed to play her. And, like, we actually did really good. We cleaned up quite nicely. I think it was also my first attempt at Equilibrious Beast. But you'll see that fight later, of course. Yeah, so Recluse, very interesting character. Obviously, as many have said, and okay, fine, I'll say it too. There are two very big reasons to like her. And it's actually just that she knows how to use a push-up bra. Apparently, thanks Zuli the Witch. Really doing a community service here, you know. But yeah, it feels nice to have a casting mage character with the whole FP regen. You know, it just seems like it feels right. I like that. And of course, this is me realizing that, oh right, don't you remember Dark Souls 2? You had to damage the heads of the spider. But hey, it worked. I don't know how much that was me, how much that was my teammates, but yeah, very fun. And then again, there's I always forget to look, but the good old victory message from previous Dark Souls. Yeah, that's good, that's nice. Next up we have Guardian, my bird man, and we are fighting Maris, Fathom of the Night. Maris is the Auger also, a very interesting fight. Not necessarily the most difficult, and I do commend them for like trying something different. It is fun that we have a sleep-focused boss, you know. Everybody wanted the madness boss, and we kind of got that with Midra. They decided to put a real madness boss, though, in this one, which is cool. And now we've got a sleep-focused boss, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I do think it's funny that this is a solo fight, as you can see, and I still didn't really even have the best grasp, I think, of how Guardian worked as a character, right? It took me a while to figure out his whole steel guard thing. This game doesn't really explain that too well to you. And I didn't even properly understand the way you were supposed to fight Maris, in that it was that you had to, oh, no, don't put me to sleep. Burn up. That's one way to do it, right? What you're actually supposed to do is use lightning, of course. Lightning is the key. Lightning is the best. Before it was nerfed. But hey, that worked, I guess. Yeah, so I didn't really even know how to properly play Guardian, and for some reason I was just like, let's do a solo run against Auger. And I actually won. Surprisingly, I didn't think I would, you know. It is one of my favorite balance changes they made, was that you get 1 extra life per night boss fight. Then you can buy extra lives from the store. You know, I did a few solo runs and I just got absolutely annihilated, and that's what I mean. I was actually kind of depressed for the first couple of days the game came out. I was like, did I just like waste my money on this? I think I had a gift card, so I didn't buy anything, but I was like, did I waste my time? Did FromSoft finally done goof? You know, is this not it? And I was kind of sad. I was like, I wasn't having fun, you know? It wasn't enjoyable. But again, I got good, sort of, and now you get to see the evolution of the learning curve, right? And again, it hit him with the lightning, you fool. There you go. Remember, his weakness is lightning. There we go, good job. Yeah, so I definitely think that solo balancing patch was needed, and don't at me. I know there's some guy who's beaten, like, the Night Lord, like, 65 times in a row, and all solo, and I don't care about that. I'm also still not sure how to properly deal with the Spirit Bomb, as I call it. Because, like, it seems like when it's up in the air, like, it takes no damage. Because I was Iron Eye and I hit it with my ultimate in the air and it barely tickled it. Like, it takes more damage when it's closer to the ground. I just run. Like, I ain't gonna bother with that, because sometimes I've seen a guy, like, poke it twice with a stick and it breaks. And then I've hit it with an Iron Eye ultimate and it took no damage, so I don't know. I guess the other thing I didn't even fully realize, I'm trying to think if I knew it in this fight. Oh my god, lock on, don't fail me now. I think I may have figured it out by this point that you're actually supposed to just kill all the ads, as they're referred to, because it sends little bubbles back to the boss and damages him. Here's my question. When did we, as a society, start referring to the small enemies that a big boss throws at you as ads? I have never heard this term before, and my friend started using it, and then suddenly everyone playing this game was using it. Like, I heard Fatih say the word, like, oh yeah, I gotta get the ads. Clear out the ads. When did that become a thing? I've literally... Oh, you bastard, you get back here. Burn up. Alright, lightning. Lightning. Hit him. Hit him. Come on. And now heal. Oh dear. It's okay. The trick, guys, is I can come back. Oh goody, I think he's cooking up another Spirit Bomb. Alright, you ready for a lock-on fail here? Like, hit the guy. No, hit the guy right in front of you. No, right in front of you. No, don't hit that. Whatever. It's okay, guys. The trick to this game is I can come back. The trick to having an extra life. Okay, you know what? I'm done with you. Have a good life, sir. You earned it. The trick to having an extra life is always have two. Oh, come on, he's just out of reach. Yeah, there we go. Alright, finish it with a crit. Style points. Protect the flock. Yeah. But yeah, when did we start calling them ads? I've literally never heard that before this game, but everyone says it like it's a common thing. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't talk about Guardian much. He's cool. Birdman is good. I just find my trick is I almost... In most of my wins with Guardian, I don't play him like you're supposed to. Like, I don't bother with the shields or the block. I just dodge and block a few things, but I find usually once I start blocking, I just get hit a lot and stamina gets stance broken. So, Guardian's cool, but he's not a top tier character for me. I think my two faves probably are Wilder and Raider because they've got the most, like, survivability. I do really like Iron Eye, but I feel like, I don't know, he's not always the best option, depending on the situation. And then, Executors, again, he's pretty situational, but he's cool. I'd want to play more Duchess, but I usually don't do great as her. And, Revenant and Recluse are fun, but again, I don't really like the fact that I got a solo Revenant win. It really surprises me. I wouldn't really trust them solo, you know? Yeah. That's how it is. And again, not all of these boss fights are going to be solo. Not all of them in groups. It's just, you get to see my victories, whether or not they're cinema, you know. But that's how it is. So yeah, once you've defeated 4 Night Lords, you can technically just go right to the end of the game. But where's the fun in that? We've got more bosses to fight. And yeah, if you get the Erdtree Burial Watchdogs that look like cats, that can only mean one thing: our good old bro Smelter Demon is on his way. It's funny, I don't know really what the optimal way for Wilder is, because I like two-handed stance breaks, but it seems like every time I do, I'm always like a half second late at being able to recover from an attack to be able to do it properly. I think I annoyed him so much that he got tired of waiting around. Mahalo, yeah, for some reason, whenever I do the powder keg thing, I just think of Rihanna's line from Battlefield, or Battleship, right? Mahalo, and then it cuts off because it was a PG-13 movie. Oh, and it's good old Smelter Demon. Oh, I never thought I'd actually be happy to see you. You with your readable maneuvers, time to allow me to heal in between attacks, and, you know, heavily telegraphed moments. I never thought I would be happy. Oh, and of course I don't have to deal with Dark Souls 2's adaptability stat. I just have proper iframes. Oh, life is good. Only thing to watch out for is they kind of gave him a bit of a buff in that he can go kind of blue flame Smelter Demon for a bit, I've noticed. It's like once he does blue flame, it's like you take damage regardless of whether you're near him, and the only way to put out the fire is to like damage him fast enough, which I think is pretty cool indeed. So yeah, good old Smelter Demon. So yeah, those are the 2 bosses we got from Dark Souls 2. Duke's Dear Freja, which I'm like, yeah, that's a fun one to put. Just really annoying solo though. And Smelter Demon, that makes sense. He's one of the more well-regarded ones from the game. So I like that. There we go. See, he's almost at blue flame, but I put the fire out. Yeah. The ones they picked for Dark Souls 3, though, those were interesting choices, but we'll get to them when we get to them, you know. Mahalo, yeah, Wilder, definitely. It's funny, I didn't really like him at first. I didn't really get him, and then I realized, oh wait, he uses great swords, and that's like 80% of the game's weapons, and about 80% of the best weapons are great swords. And he's versatile. He's got the claw shot, so you can get around the place faster. He's got his powder keg explosion, which is great for stunning bosses. And he's got that whole extra life, Sixth Sense cheat death mechanic, which is just such a lifesaver. Haha, literally. Yeah, I know, I guess picking Wilder as like your main favorite is probably like picking Mario as your favorite Mario Kart character. Like, it's just the generic choice, but like, I actually do really like him, guys. What can I say? And here we go, the thrilling conclusion to Girls' Night, right, is against the Equilibrious beast. Oh yeah, good old goat boy, indeed. He's interesting because, like, he can show up and curse you during your run, and then you've got to, you know, I'm gonna give you 100,000 runes to fuck off. But then you get to deal with him here, but with a curse to it. And I usually don't take many of the deals. Here we go, good old goat boy, Libra, creature of the night. Creature of the night. I would say he's definitely one of the hardest, most intimidating Night Lord bosses. Just because of how quickly everything can go from 0 to 100 with him. Like that, right? Actually, funny enough, this was my first fight against him, and my first Night Lord win as Recluse. So I think that's pretty cool. Just goes to show you how I must have either known what I was doing, or I had good teammates who knew what they were doing, you know? And I'm like, there's a delayed follow-up, isn't there? I knew it. Bastard. And, oh, here we go, he's doing the meditation thing, right? You gotta break the seals, right? What do? You break it. Okay, we did it. It was kind of one of those things where I'd only, like, heard about it, something about breaking the seals and not really knowing how it's supposed to be. Jesus. Also, again, I said it before, they cooked with the soundtrack, but they really did cook with this guy's soundtrack. Like, it just seems, like, so creepy, and, like, something about it's so unsettling. What's going on? Oh my god. Yeah. It's kind of funny that he, like, literally feels like he's insane. Like, he is madness, alright. You won't be seeing it in this video. I think. Maybe not. But, he's got a, oh boy, I don't know if we're gonna do this in time, guys. I also didn't realize you could just run through them all, you know. Yep, he is now buffed. Alright, let's do this. I had a solo win with him as Wilder, where I got the Frenzied Spear, and that was real fun to see how it is when you actually get him with Madness. I think it was actually literally just after, or just before they put out a patch that buffed your chances of getting a Frenzied weapon against him. So that's fun, I guess, you know. Spam dodge for the win, right? Oh dear, did I get her? Oh, thank you, Revenant. That was a little delayed there. Yeah, so I like Libra, but like, not like him, like he's still intimidating for me. He's still the one boss that I'm a little worried about going up against. Most of the other ones I have some level of confidence. But not him. No, him, I'm still a little worried. I also, when he does that attack, I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to run away? Are you supposed to stun him? I don't know. There's another one, isn't there? Yep, I knew it. Alright, let me throw a moon at you. I mean, I definitely had a very good run in this case where, like, I got so many good spells. So, that definitely helps, you know. Get your meditation out of here. Yeah, so there we go. The thrilling conclusion to Girls' Night, indeed. We should do this again sometime. I think it would be fun. Yay. I didn't talk about Recluse much there, but yeah, she's cool. Very sad story. But fun character, playing a mage, entertaining. Now if only we could get some kind of passive FP regen though for Revenant and Duchess, so I don't have to be hoarding all them Starlight shards, you know. Okay, who do we got now? Well, let's see, I think I just quickly ran out of the hidden city there. I was doing Wilder's Remembrance, where you gotta defeat that mimic troll. And, like, 3 of these Nox Maiden, Night Mist Maidens. What could that be? I guess we'll find out. Well, this one just kind of chills there, you know. Sure, why not? Get stunned. So yeah, level 10, not my greatest performance, right? I usually, if you can be level 9 or 10 before the end of night 1, then you're pretty set. At least in terms of that. And I've already got to use a health, that ain't good. Some of them are just more aggressive than others, I guess. Here, come into the rain. It's fun. Well, who are we fighting now? Let's see, it's, oh my god, it's the Dancer of the Bootylicious Valley. Jesus. Yeah, that's what's funny, I think, is that, you know, they put 2 kind of random bosses from, oh yeah, yeah, I just did that. Did you just detonate an explosive up her butt? Dancer thick, okay? I ain't gonna lie, you know it, we all know it. But then of course she has her good old spin to win combo. That wasn't even the craziest spin to win combo. Oh, good timing. Oh, did I stun her again? Nice. Yeah, you gotta watch out for Dancer, because if you're not careful, she will mess you up. I had a run where we got triple killed, like total party kill, at the spin to win attack. So, watch yourself. And, damn it, I had to use one of my lives there. That ain't good. But wait guys, the trick is I can come back. Hey Dancer, I didn't hear no bell. Yeah, funny how, like, they put two pretty well-known bosses from Dark Souls 2, two kind of random ones from Dark Souls 1, and then from Dark Souls 3 they put, like, the two toughest bosses, the Dancer and Nameless King. Like, what's going on with that, man? That's crazy. Next up we've got Revenant, and the boss is Fulghor, champion of Nightglow. This is also going to be a real weird boss to watch footage of, because I'm so used to playing the Everdark version, right? Yeah, he's a pretty cool fight, pretty good, interesting style. And of course I am experiencing the pain that is, oh, these lightning spears do not travel fast enough. Really need that good old bolt of Grand Sax, you know. Come on, you. Get it. Nope. Didn't do enough damage, apparently. This is definitely one of the bosses where having his weakness is very important, because it stops him from doing the whole lightning pillars attack. Seems like there was a lot of bosses that came up with the whole, hey, what if we have a pillar come out from right beneath the character, right? Kind of annoying, but whatever. And their other new tactic they've been doing, there we go, it seems to be, hey, what if we had it so that the boss was up really high and shot a projectile into the ground, but it wasn't the projectile hitting that you had to dodge, it was the explosion afterwards. You know. And then what was it? Oh yeah, so there we go, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, there's all the memes about how, oh yeah, use the big bunk with Revenant, you know, use the giant crusher. And it's funny because twice with her I've had the Mogwin Sacred Spear, you know. So it's like the game wants me to do it. Here, of course, I got a, you know, heavy thrusting sword. Bit different, I guess. But the big bunk with Revenant is always fun. But I know that's not really what you're supposed to do. I also feel like that AoE has like a 80% chance of either not touching me or one-shotting me. It's very weird like that. I don't know. This guy needs to stop moving. But yeah, I'm trying to think, did we ever get like a centaur-like boss in these games before? I don't know. But in either case, I'm down for it. Yeah, so Revenant is a very powerful character, but definitely starts off a little underpowered, you know. The claws, you really need to upgrade them. You don't get much for seals, you know, you got rejection and heal. So, you really gotta use your summons. And, well, I won't get them in time, I think. Nope. And then, you got to, really... Oh, Jesus. Crazy range. You gotta use your summons, use your claws, and use your necromancy ability, you know, having it so random enemies can get revived when you kill them. And here we go now, Fulghor has gone into phase 2 and he's regrown his arm like it's all dark. Come on, which one is it? There we go. Sorry, my dude, I hadn't fully remembered which one is which. You know, there's Helen, Frederick, and Sebastian. Yeah, he's gone full Eudix Gundyr style. Oh dear, we're not gonna get him in time, are we? Nope. That's okay. Oh dear. Yeah, there's a lot of clutter. It's kind of interesting because, like, Everdark Fulghor, you know, we'll see him later, but, like, in a way I found him easier because there's less visual clutter, and a lot of his attacks can be dodged by just simply, you know, spam dodging. Come on, you. There we go. And also his whole, his lightning attack, right, where you need lightning to negate it, he only does that in the first phase in the Everdark fight. So there's less of this pressure to, like, oh, we need a lightning weapon. This is where I kind of forgot, oh right, if only there was some kind of, like, ultimate ability where I could, you know, use to revive him. But alas, I don't have anything like that, do I now? Best to keep just doing it this way, right? I mean, but it still is more fun and rewarding when you do it that way, when you do it legit, right? There we go. Oh boy, I'm not gonna make it. Nope, me bombo. And I jumped right into the pillar, goddammit. Thank you, Iron Eye. I do think it's funny though, out of all the characters that I actually have a solo Revenant win, Revenant's weird, is it's like, I don't think I'm that good at her, but like usually when I play her we do well. Nope, that ain't it either. Yeah, I don't know, it just seems like there's a lot more clutter in phase 2 of this fight versus phase 2 of Everdark version. Like, he hits harder in Everdark version, but I don't know. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah, it's strange and indeed, I know. But we'll see what other Everdark shenanigans they come up with. Oh yeah, when he does that jump attack, it's like not nearly as wide range of an AoE, right? It's a little more tuned down. I don't know. Oh, you're mine now. Nope, you're not. Okay, note to self. The lightning spear does not do enough damage, even though it is lightning. Lightning is not the best, because it was nerfed. Just be a Revenant main and embrace your inner bonk, or your inner, you know, great thrusting sword, I guess. Yeah. So Revenant's cool. We'll see more of her Remembrance later. There we go. And, yeah, this guy is a cool fight. I didn't really dig him at first. And I also hated him because, you know, you need to defeat him as Revenant or as, Iron Eye for his Remembrance, right? And, you know, I think they've improved the matchmaking now. I wouldn't really know, though, because, like, I've done all the Remembrances. I haven't had to do the Remembrance matchmaking, but, yeah, it was pretty brutal. And so, most of the Remembrances I ended up doing solo, except for I got really lucky with Iron Eye that I finally, after like 2 days of waiting, got into a group, and we did it. You know, that's the other thing. It's one thing to, you know, get a group. It's another thing for the group to actually win. So, oh dear, that's bad, right? How far does this thing stretch? That's pretty far. I've got no flasks left. This is bad. How far does that stretch? Not too far. Oh boy. Will that work? It will. Yes. Lightning is the best. Come on. Yeah, boy. Nicely done. because I'm just realizing, yeah, this is after I beat the game, right? Because that's Revenant's Sister Freed skin. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't lay down like you. I didn't get the memo. My bad. Okay, now next up we've got a big one. We had the Dancer of the Bootylicious Valley, of course. And now the next one to have is, of course, good old Nameless King. You see, when you're going for your night bosses, and you see this, the dragon and the Beastman, Farmazula Beastman guy. That's kind of like the meme, like Vietnam flashbacks, photos taken seconds before disaster. And it was funny because I think this was the one where it was like, this is my first win against Nameless King, as Iron Eye, of course, right? Where I saw these two and I was like, wait a minute, because I think it's kind of fun how like the prelude fight foreshadows who you're gonna fight as like the main night boss. And I remember seeing the Beastman with lightning and the dragon. I was like, this is Nameless King, isn't it? I'm ready. I'm not afraid, Bridgekeeper. Bring it on. And here we go, good old Nameless King. So yeah, that's the funny part I mentioned earlier, like how, you know, the Dark Souls 1 bosses, they just picked kind of two, like, mid-tier bosses. Dark Souls 2, they picked two decently well-known and respected ones. And then Dark Souls 3, they were just like, screw it, we're picking the toughest ones. But granted, now Nameless King, he's still tough, of course. He still packs a mean wallop. But he's not as bad as he used to be. But they didn't actually, like, nerf him or anything, I feel. It's just simply like the way of playing and the character has evolved, you know. The movement is so much more fluid and quick. You know, everybody's got a fast roll, except for Guardian. And we're kind of getting used, I think, as players to the, you know, big swing, delayed attacks sort of thing, right? So, you see, he's not, like, too far out of left field. You know, I remember playing Dark Souls 3 and feeling like with Nameless King, you just had to be very on point. You know, like, you gotta make sure you only attack when you have an opening, and watch, because he's always got 2 follow-up attacks. And just be very particular with your dodge. And if you want to heal, you gotta make sure you dodge a combo first. You gotta earn that heal. You can't just take it when you want it. Whereas I feel like with Elden Ring, it was just kind of like the style we were used to, you know. So, yeah. And interesting, I'm using the hook claws. I kind of found I like playing Iron Eye with katanas or some dex weapons, you know, like twin blades, bloodhound claws, or the raptor's talons. I think they work quite nicely because he is a dex character. And, you know, despite what some people say about Iron Eye being the game's easy mode, I don't necessarily find that true. I mean, his mark ability is very nice because it's got very long iframes. You make a target take damage for a longer period of time. If you manage to damage them enough during the crit period, then you can really remint them. You know, look at that. See, we took care of him quite nicely. Didn't even get to go to a sort of phase 2. What goodies did we get? Ooh, extra life. I will take that. Don't mind if I did. Yeah, that is the thing about the game. There's kind of a thing, like, if people leave, you do kind of get like that, the scaling down for making the fight easier. But I don't necessarily think it's how it is, because, like, sure, maybe the game will scale down the enemies so they're not as difficult. if you get a person to leave, but it's not like that's going to magically make your extra life per night up here, you know. So I'm not super into that, you know, like it would be kind of nice if the game could somehow know, like when you go down to one player, oh, it's just you, okay, now you can buy the extra lives from the store and have your extra guaranteed life per night. But anyway, rant on that over. Let's talk about Caligo, Miasma of the Night. Hot damn, is this a good boss fight. Love it so much. I really need to play her more. Which way do I gotta go? Nope, that was the wrong button. Oh, okay. Can we make it out of this in time? I don't know. We did not. Yeah. This is definitely a great spectacle fight, but I wouldn't say it's like an easy one, you know. It's still quite easy to done goof it if you mess up. In fact, when I was editing the video, I thought I might needed to have used my Executor footage for this fight, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have been a little embarrassed, because I'm pretty sure half that fight was just my team reviving me. But as you can see, of course, the trick with the Frost Dragon is fire. And oh my lord, I'm gonna get the chills, because this Phase 2 music is just like the most gorgeous thing I've ever heard. Like, I love it so much. I don't really know much of the lore about each of these Night Lords, but I would really like to look up Caligo a bit more, because this is the one boss I almost kind of feel bad for killing. Like, most of the other bosses seem to feel that they're like, you know, enraged beasts or creatures, or, you know, trying to devour me, destroy me, and, you know, defeat all that is good. But something about Caligo, just, especially with the soundtrack, there's more of this spectacle to it. Seems that she's more like, I don't know, like a dragon giving her like one last hurrah, if that makes sense, you know, kind of like a old Demon King in Dark Souls 3 style. I don't know. But yeah, we finally got Wilder footage as our main guy. Oops. But wait, guys, the trick is I can come back. Thank you, extra lives. Youch. Yeah, this is actually only like my second fight against Caligo. I thought I would give it a try solo, especially with Wilder, because this whole thing is that he has fire as his main ability. And yeah, actually it went quite well, despite me only being level 11. I don't think I'd really figured out the whole trick to getting lots of runes. You know, there's specific ways you can do this. And yeah, I don't think she might not let me get away without doing her ultimate. She actually didn't really do it yet, you know? Alright, maybe this is it? I don't know. Wilder, definitely a useful character for this fight, since he's got the grapple hook. It's funny, I didn't really play him much at the start. I really tried to make a Guardian and Duchess work, and they just didn't jive with me, and then something about it, I just became a Guardian main. Alright, we gotta finish the boss with a crit. Yeah, we are. I'm almost kind of sad that I didn't get to show you her ultimate move, but needless to say, a very fun fight. Very good indeed. Maybe not the most challenging of fights, especially if you get that frostbite boost. Oh, there's the Dragon Eye from the mountain. But yeah, might be my favorite fight in the game. I don't know if she's gonna get an Everdark version or not. I don't know if they announced if everyone's getting an Everdark version or just certain bosses. We'll find out. What's his name? Edgar something. My screen's a little far away. I can't read all the little writings from when I'm recording, based on the position of where I am with my microphones. But yeah, so next up, before we get to the final boss, we've got some time devoted to the Remembrance bosses. I didn't bother including like every single one. Like, for example, I know you fight a mimic troll when you're wilder, and you got to go into the hidden city. And then there's a couple of Remembrance boss fights for Raider, so I didn't bother with that. But I thought with a Revenant I would definitely show these fights, since they have a whole unique area dedicated to them. And it's a very interesting style. So I think I kind of follow along with the story, but basically Revenant, who we play as, this is me remembering, oh right, I've got summons. There was like this guy of the house, and he like murdered his family, and Revenant is like the doll that's come to life for revenge, I think. And I don't know if it's necessarily meant to be the soul of the daughter. I think some people had some debate about that. But like, I know a Revenant is what one who has returned, is it, from the dead, right? Like the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Great movie, by the way. So this one's not really too tough of a fight. It's more of just managing your spacing, and dodging all the explosions. Enemy felled, indeed. Let's examine this crafting doll, my darling little Daphne. So we are not Daphne. Daphne is someone else, I believe. And sometime later, that's when we have same thing. House Northern Croft. Okay. So now it's funny because, Revenant's gonna fight a Revenant, or it's the containment. I don't know what that's all about, containment. I just know that, fast, hyper-aggressive, aggro, spam enemy, not really good with me, especially because, Revenant does not really get the best of starting equipment, shall we say. You have Heal, White Shadow's Lure, and Rejection, which does no damage and can only be used to knock back smaller enemies. But you've got your summons. Good old Frederick, right? If Adam got me, I know Frederick got me. And, okay, give me a sec, guys. Takes like 4 button prompts to do this. Helen, I summon you. I choose you. Yeah, it's like I'm a Pokemon trainer or something, I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting. Again, I'm not sure I fully understand, but it seems like most people get the general gist of it, and that's kind of always how I felt about the FromSoft games. It's not about the exact how and why. Darkness banished, okay. That's interesting, that's a new one. It's not about the exact minute details, it's about, well, kind of David Lynch style. It's about the feeling, right? The tone that you get from it, right? What do I get from this? Well, we have this very gothic, bloodborne looking house, and we've got this messed up guy clearly chopping up some human and a person who's real scared, right? So clearly this guy ain't all right, and she's trying to hide from him, and that's not good, right? And that's the main gist of it. You can go into all the little specifics and all the actual details, this and that. Like, there's the book and the old family photo that we get used as relics. Oh, that's bad. Nope. You can get into all those details, but at the core of it, we know that this guy, Don Snapped, murdered a bunch of people. Perhaps he was contaminated by the night, right? And that's why the doll has come to life and has sworn revenge, right? something like that, I think. But again, maybe there's more to it than that I just simply don't know, you know. Ah well, it is what it is. But yeah, so FromSoft, you've shown that you can do the creepy Bloodborne gothic horror type stuff still. You still got it in you, right? 10 years down the road. What's one more for old time's sake? We get that Bloodborne remaster. We gonna get Bloodborne 2? No, instead we've got the Dusk Bloods, which is like, kinda looks Bloodborne 2-ish, and it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Oh, how wonderful that is indeed. Yeah, I'm gonna need a drink after hearing that news. That's very disappointing, but I mean, you know, I guess they have had Sony exclusive games in a couple times. We had Demon's Souls for PS3, Bloodborne for PS4, Demon's Souls remake for PS5. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that tracks, you know, but still disappointing nonetheless. I don't know, but hey, maybe it'll happen eventually, right? I mean, Bloodborne got a re-release on PC, right? Commence. Okay, so next up we've got Raiders Remembrance, and of course I got good old Onion Knight, right? The nostalgia skins, as I call them, right? And it is funny how, like, they're just sort of there, you know? There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just like time is convoluted, right? But I guess this is kind of the official thing, because, like, I was putting together a list of my favorite games, right? And I was gonna do a rule like, okay, only one per franchise, right? So I can't put, like, Dark Souls 1 and 3 on the list. You know, I can't put, like, multiple Metal Gear Solid games on the list. But then I was thinking, okay, can I put Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring on the list? Is that okay, right? Because, like, we all say they are, you know, Souls-like games from software. But you know, like, oh dear, he does still hit hard. But you know, like, it would make sense if I said, oh great, of course, because there wasn't enough ulcerated tree spirits in the game already, right? We had to throw in one more as a remembrance fight. I don't know why this guy changes into a tree spirit, but hey, he's cool, alright. And again, I don't really know Raider's shtick. Just, I guess he's like the only one that seems to not have a tragic backstory. Oh, that's gonna hurt. No. Choose life. Okay. Yeah, Raider seems to be the only one that's kind of got his whole shtick together. He's just like, man, I just wanted to, like, you know, help out my bro. My former bro. I think I just wanted to be the best duelist that the Yu-Gi-Oh! World has ever seen. But yeah, so if you were gonna do a list of, yeah, I tanked that AoE. What you gonna do about it? Alright, come here. Crits for the win. If you were making a list of your favorite games, and you were only allowed to do, like, one per franchise, right? Would you say that you could include Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring as separate quote-unquote franchises? Or would that still count, right? You know, because originally I was going to say, well, they are separate, but, like, now we've crossed over Dark Souls and Elden Ring with lots of Bloodborne vibes. But I don't think there's any, like, specific costumes from them. There's costumes from only Dark Souls games, right? And then you've got Carla in Dark Souls 3, who's also meant to be like Yuria from Demon's Souls. That's the closest I think we've got in that regard. I don't know. But yeah, so the lines have become blurred. Next up, we got Executors, Remembrance. Alright, we've got this whole thing. Behold His Majesty, the Erd Tree. And here we are, Altus Plateau. Hey, that's cool. So, this is definitely a fun one, you know, it's an interesting setup. Again, I'm not sure I follow, but like Executor, he was a former Crucible Knight. And he was supposed to protect this painter. And when he failed to do that, he committed seppuku. And now he lives as this, you know, anime weeaboo, I think. But I'm not sure who he's facing off here, if this was like another knight come to kill the painter that he was supposed to protect. All I know is that the game makes you do a good old Sekiro duel, and I'm okay with that, you know. It almost makes me want to play Sekiro again, almost. Sekiro was a very good game, but I just think I didn't really get it, you know. The style didn't really work for me, per se. Especially because they didn't come out with an update for that game until like many months later after I was done playing it, so you know, I'd kind of lost interest by then. And I played it through almost twice. So, and you know, I don't really feel it had much replayability to it, because it was like just like, you've got like a style, and you've got like one way you do it with a couple of different skills, but I kind of found my match. Oh, he's good. He's really good. But does he know the trick? Come on, hit me. Hit me. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I mean, I do love Executor's whole parry ability, and you can parry anything. You can parry a nuke. That's fun. Doesn't get any better than that. I'm just not a fan of the whole beast mode thing. I feel it's not really beast mode, it's just, hey, I'm a bigger target mode. So yeah, there we go. Well done, Sekiro. Hesitation is defeat. Yeah, so again, I'm not sure I follow, but there's something like that, like people have made videos, and I just need to watch them at some point when I have time, you know, and just stick with it, right? I don't know. But yeah, here we go. This is the house where the painting was, and so we see there's a dead Crucible Knight there. There's the painting of the Erd Tree, but this wasn't Executor's painting. There was this other person, the painter, and they're dead. So then this Crucible Knight is all like, who is Executor? It's like, I failed in my mission, so I have no honor. I must commit seppuku. I think. Something like that, perhaps. I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway, next up, don't mind us, we're attempting to ore a farm, but this other guy don't got the idea. Is the final boss, the Shape of the Night, also known as Heolstor, the Night Lord. And I am Iron Eye for this fight because he is the last one who we haven't done a main boss for yet, and finishing the final boss as Iron Eye is necessary for one of the specific endings. So that's what we're gonna do right now, indeed. I originally was gonna show like all 4 fights, you know, like the fight for the Iron Eye ending, the Recluse ending, the Wilder ending, and just the normal ending, right? But, you know, again, I realized we don't need to see all of those fights. Indeed, I think we've got plenty enough to talk about as is. So, yeah, this is his first phase, and I think it's definitely, it's hard to rank, but I think the most evilest FromSoft has been with the whole delayed attacks thing, you know? Because this guy really decides, like, yeah, I'm gonna just kind of half turn to the side and then be like, ooh, psych, my combo ain't done yet, right? meme of, like, you know, the promised consort tarnished, like, walking up with Ronnie on his back holding the Dark Moon Greatsword. Yeah, they took that and made that into a boss, which is crazy, you know. Oh wow, that was not a pretty hot start. I'd like to shout out my teammates for this one. I couldn't have done it alone. No, literally I couldn't have. I actually haven't attempted to fight Heolstor solo yet. We'll see how that goes. I know he's just got a couple of moves that I'm not sure I understand. Mainly the whole Moonlight Greatsword charge attack, because it seems like you can't actually dodge it directly. You gotta dodge to the side, but then if you do, you've gotta, like, wait an extra half second. Same thing when he slams down the sword. It's a very delayed attack, almost as delayed as some of Margit's attacks. So, I don't know, pretty tricky. But that's why you put the right affinity for your bow. Good old starting bow with holy damage indeed, which you actually need to, you know. So here we go, the big cool attack that I probably looked away from. He splits open the realm to another dimension and does a big super AoE. And again, it was the first of FromSoft's newest evil tactics, which is, hey, what if the attack is not when the boss hits the ground, it's half a second later when the explosion happens. And they did that with Fulghor and his Everdark Sovereign version. So yeah, like I say, I do really like Iron Eye. He is fun. It's fun that bow builds are finally viable, but I kind of, you know, reject the idea that it's the game's easy mode, because he's only as strong as your team. I don't know if I've actually ever done a solo Iron Eye run, and I'm not sure how well that would go, because you see, as soon as he gets up in my face, that's it, I'm got. And like I say, I know some people had to use him solo to fight Fulghor for the Remembrance, and oh dear, yep, that happened. Again, I didn't say that it was going to be the best fight. I said it was going to be the fight where I win. But yeah, my team definitely carried pretty hard on this one. So thank you, team. Did they actually manage to get me up again? I think so. It's always funny how, like, when you're reviving a teammate, the boss can be totally preoccupied with your one player, but then he all of a sudden is like, wait a minute, somebody's reviving you. And nope, he wasn't gonna get away without me. Alright, we're back, bitches. Yeah, thanks, team. I mean, at this point, I would have been understandable if they just went for the kill, and that would have been fine. I got carried super hard. Oh, you missed. He was 3 feet in front of you, and you missed. I got carried super hard by a raider one time against Gladius. It was like we died to the second night boss, and he was up doing his thing. Oh, who's next? Okay, can we dodge it properly this time? Nope, still not. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll figure it out one day, I swear. Alright, going for the kill. We're going for the kill. We can do this, I think. Okay, let's go. One more. Yeah! If no one got me, I know my man Artorias got me. Yeah, it was like me and my second teammate, we were down at the second night boss, which was, I think, the Commander Nile. And this guy Raider, it took him like 10 minutes, so long that I actually disconnected from inactivity. But he took down the boss solo, and then we got into the final fight, which was against Gladius, and we both got down, and Raider there, he soloed the boss, because he knew he couldn't get us up. We both had the 3 bars, right? But yeah, shout out to that guy. If you remember who you are, if you remember absolutely being a Chad and helping out a lone Revenant and another player, then you're great. So we defeat the Night Lord, we get here to the round table hold. And you could just and the spot in the round table where the OG edgelord, Insha, was hanging out. So yeah, that's funny. But yeah, so instead, Iron Eye just kills the corpse of the Night Lord, and so the night has not ended. We haven't defeated it. It's just going to continue. And Mr. Edgelord himself is all like, the night is far from over. And I'm not sure I actually follow. I haven't really looked into Iron Eye's story per se, but I know that is the quote-unquote bad ending, you know. So yeah, I'd have to figure out what that's all about, but I guess Mr. Edgelord just wants the night to go on, and he did it his way, you know, not the wilder way, which we'll get to. And then of course we've got the recluse way, which is his own thing, so that's no fun. Let's get in there again and fight him as Wilder. This fight, I'll show you just a bit of. I don't need to show the whole fight, I think, but it was actually really great. You see, I was in a match with 2 other players, and when we got to the first night boss, both players just left. Always fun when you can revive a guy and stun a boss at the same time, right? Good old Baymore on my side, indeed. Those goddamn AoEs on the floor, you know. Yeah, so my second guy left, he never came back, and then this guy, he came back, like, just shortly afterwards. But the Wending Grace has saved me. Excellent. And it saved him too. That's good. But we're out of healing. Can we pull it off? Yeah, so then me and this guy proceeded to just duo all of night 2 and this guy, and we were both in Artorias. So yeah, that was pretty cool, right? Okay, did I learn to dodge it? Hey, I think I learned to dodge it, perhaps. I don't know. But have I figured out how to dodge these attacks yet? Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, me bombo. No. Okay, we gotta go one down bit. Oh shoot, she's all yours, baby. But yes, he's got the cannon. Do it. Get the win. Just go, bro. Just go. Yeah, boy. And yeah, the good old L1 spam, the sign of friendship, right? Ultimate thing. Never get tired of that gesturing. Well done, my bro. Blob, you sir, you are a true champion indeed of the night. So, yeah, now that we've won as Wilder, you also have to make sure that you won with the Silver Tier relic, I believe, much like how you've got to bring the Edge of Order relic if you're Iron Eye. And so, I think in this ending, basically, Wilder uses a Silver Tier, right, as like a way to mimic the Night Lord. So yeah, it's like he's going to become the Night Lord. And it's all part of this whole complex thing. Yeah, there we go, the Silver Tier, the Mimic Tier, right? It's all part of this complex thing. It's like, I don't know if he knows that Duchess is his sister, but Duchess knows that Wilder is her brother. And he, I think, is in love with her, or at least just cares for her. And he knows that because she's like bound to the round table hold if the night ends, or there's no Night Lord, then there won't be a round table hold for her to live in. And he doesn't want that, so his solution is to become the Night Lord himself, and perhaps then he's just going to, like, you know, walk the earth, you know, like Cain, I guess, and just wander the desert, the wasteland. And that's the other thing I wonder is we see there's the shape of the night, and it's just kind of wandering around aimlessly. And it's only when we defeat that the real Night Lord Heolstor is revealed. I'm not sure. But yeah, now Wilder's just doomed to wander for eternity, I guess. But Duchess gets a future. So, yay? Question mark, I don't know. Your call. Not sure how I feel about that one, indeed. But yeah, there's another ending. Make of that what you will. Some people call it the good ending per se, but I don't know. The music's kind of very melancholy. I'd say that's kind of the bittersweet ending, you know, again, how it is, but yeah, it's how it is. Anyway, next up we've got Recluse ending. And again, Recluse, very fun character, but you just need a good setup, and yeah, having Halo Scythe with Miquella's Rings of Light, I will take that indeed. And especially when I got Stars of the Ruin. Basically, Stars of the Ruin is this game's easy mode, you know. And also having a good team who know how to take aggro from you. So, yeah. Well done, team, indeed. Always gotta, you know, may thy knife chip and shatter. Again, if you do see yourself in the video, that's awesome, that's great. Know that there are many other players I've interacted with, and most of them have been good. Not all of them, though. I had 2 teammates who disconnected the second we touched ground. I'm like, well, I'm disconnecting too, because I'm solo and I don't got my extra lives, right? Now, if you're going for Recluse ending, make absolutely sure you do not go and interact with the corpse of the Night Lord. You would think to do that, but no, you gotta go over to the side here, where you should hear a baby crying. And here we have lay hand upon infant. So this is Recluse's baby, who I guess, you know, she just never loved. So the big solution to her request is, hey, maybe I should, you know, care for my child, right? And not leave it to some witch at the wheel, you know? Maybe I should be a good mother. Wait, does that mean Recluse is a MILF? Oh, yeah, bro. Anyway, I would say that's a nice ending for her. You know, she got to reunite with her child and perhaps lay the whole evil within it to rest, perhaps. But what of the rest of the Night Lord? I don't know. Interesting ending, indeed. And now finally we've got one more ending to do. This one I did as a Guardian. I don't recall if this was the first one. I think this actually might have been the first ending that I got, you know, canonically, shall we say. Bird up one more time, right? Yeah, so this year we're just going for a regular ending. Oh yeah, always fun to finish a boss on a crit. We're going for a regular ending where we don't do any of the special endings, which I'm pretty sure you can do as any of the characters. Even if you've got their item, you just have to actually go and interact with the Night Lord. Yeah, boy. Bird. Protect the flock, right? So, yeah, there's all the items that guy dropped, you know, because people like emptying their inventories. I don't know why, to be like, look, I beat the fight with nothing in my inventory. I'm like, bro, like, obviously you didn't. You know what you should do, if you want to prove that you beat the guy with nothing but your fists, is you should, like, leave one item in your inventory, right? That would be more believable, right? I don't know. But yeah, this is the final thing to do for the proper ending, is touch the corpse and offer the Night Lord's rune. And so, this is where I'm still trying to piece together exactly what occurred here. Well, let's see if we can try to figure this out, right? So, this is good whiskey. And whiskey, I got a sore throat. You know, it's good for you, right? Alcohol kills germs, right? It's like bleach, right? So we offer the Night Lord's rune to the corpse, and then Guardian here, he turns into this like sort of ray of light. And we see this happen with all of the other rays of light, right? And I'm pretty sure there's like 8 beams of light, 8 Nightfarers, all of us. And we see the round table hole is now empty and fast, and there's no one there. It's almost monochromatic, devoid of life, right? And we see these sort of spirits vacating, like these are our souls, right? Or our runes, I guess. We don't do souls in this universe. And so they go here through the grace and leave. And then that leads to a fade out, right, of us leaving the area. There were the coffins below the round table hold, right? And then, there is a post-credit scene we'll get to at the end, but I guess I'll kind of talk about it now because the video's going to end once the post-credit scene is over. But I kind of got this vibe. I don't know, this is going to be a very weird comparison, but it actually reminded me of the ending of Tenet. Because Tenet was all about how, nobody talks about the bomb that never went off. Nobody knows about the people that saved the world without knowing that it was saved, right? This kind of idea of like the behind the scenes people, behind the veil, on the other side of the curtain, the ones that was helping to save everything, right? And I kind of got this vibe that like the night threatened to destroy the lands between, and the Nightfarers defeated the Night Lord, thus sparing the lands between from the night, because we see this big beast emerge from the water, and that's the night embodied in like a physical embodiment of the night, like the Elden Beast being the physical embodiment of the greater will, and then it leaves, it goes off into the distance, off somewhere else. So it's no longer in the lands between. They awoke Mata Nui from his slumber, and he went off to go do something else. So, I don't know, it's very sad to me, at least my interpretation, but again, it might not be correct, and I'm not a lore hunter. There's plenty of people that do that, and you can make of it what you will, and again, I wonder, does FromSoft actually plan these things out, or is it also kind of like that they've just, they're like David Lynch, there's an idea behind it, and, it's not about the specifics, it's just about the emotion that you feel, right, what you get out of it. Well, what I get out of this is a bunch of brave warriors laying down their lives on the line to sacrifice themselves for a noble cause to save everyone else, and they've all got lots of tragic backstories and trauma to overcome. But despite all that, they learn to band together as a team throughout their expeditions, 33 of them to be exact, and save the world from the bomb that never went off, from the night that we never knew of, shall we say. Or, of course, something like that. I don't know. Again, if I'm just totally off my rocker on some other kind of crazy tangent, I'm sure the internet will let me know. But that's what I'm going with for now. And it's kind of fun. A lot of times with Souls games, I'm always, oh, Vati, oh, Miss Chalice, post the video so I can watch it. You can tell me how to think. But it was actually more fun, I think, to kind of like let the game kind of speak for itself And again, there's also talk that this game is non-canon, that it doesn't count. So in a way, I can kind of make up whatever I want to go along with it. So that's my interpretation, what I'm gonna go with. Side note, I mentioned Expedition. Everyone's talking about, what is it? Claire Obscura Expedition 33. And everyone's talking about how it's like the best game ever. Is it? I don't know if it's really my style, though. It looks kind of like a turn-based JRPG, but from France. And I've not really vibed with that much. Like, everyone's raved about Baldur's Gate 3 and how it's the greatest thing ever. And it is a really good game. But I don't really know D&D that well. So I'm probably not going to play it. And my wife's played it like 5 times, so that's good enough for me. I watch, I observe, I know a lot of the memes and the context, and I can say I've experienced the game, I just didn't play it, you know. I think that's fine. Because at least the vibe I got from Baldur's Gate was like, there's a lot of stuff you're just kind of supposed to know. Like, you're supposed to know what Fireball does, and I don't know what Fireball does. You're supposed to know, oh, you know, lockpicking requires intelligence, which is related to dexterity, or, you know, I don't know that naturally, right? I would need somebody there translating for me if I was going to play this game. So, yeah, I don't know if Claire Obscura Expedition 33 is for me. Also, I really need to play Death Stranding 2, because I really enjoyed Death Stranding 1, though it's kind of funny how, like, Death Stranding 2 is getting mostly positive reviews. Many people, of course, will remember that Death Stranding 1 was very a polarizing game. A lot of people really hated on it, but I actually really liked it a lot. It was not perfect, absolutely not perfect, but when it really hit you in those emotional beats, absolutely a great game and worth playing. So it's kind of weird that, like, everyone seems to be in love with Death Stranding 2. Perhaps because we actually know what it's going to be like. I remember that was the big thing with Death Stranding 1, is a lot of people, they didn't know what kind of game it was going to be, and everyone theorized, oh, it's secretly a Metal Gear Solid game, and you know, the walking simulator's just the first half hour. So perhaps now that it's like, well, we know what to expect, it's not as jarring to have that happen. Everyone's just like, right, I know what to expect. I'm vibing with it. Maybe. Or it could be that they've changed a few things and made the game better. Who knows? I'll have to get around to that, but I've been playing a lot of Nightreign, and these weekly Everdark Sovereign bosses have definitely helped me keep coming back to the game, you know. Makes me want to play it more, which is nice, because at first I thought it was going to get stale, but just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in, you know. Anyway, so here we have it, the post-credits scene. We see the ocean outside of the lands between. This looks like we're viewing it from the west side, if I recall. Seems to be how it is, if my geography is correct. Or actually, no, that looks kind of to the south, because I see behind the trees the mountaintops of giants, and we can see the volcano over there. There's those weird forms of mountains that we see on the side of the map from the Halig tree. Always wanted to know what was over there. God, I do love Mikola's Halig tree area and Elphael so much, even if it's really difficult. So we see the souls, the little seed thing, go to the big tree thing, and, you know, of course my first thought is this the big tree monster thing from the third act of Sekiro? You know, very Princess Mononoke style. And that's got the crown of the Night Lord. And then it kind of observes the lands between, and it walks away. I don't know, man. Again, I just think we saved Mata Nui from his slumber and we defeated the Makuta. But that's just the 90s Bionicle fanboy in me. And that's how we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it on a Bionicle reference. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that. Again, there will be more Nightreign content, specifically when we get all of the Everdark bosses. And of course, if I'm able to defeat them, indeed. So, hope you all enjoyed that. And, we'll see what's next on the table. Who knows? Anyway, y'all have a good night. Thanks for bearing with me. And I'll see